Okay, let's take a look at adding the hatch to the brick on the outside of the building. The first thing we need to do is set the layer for the A exterior pat layer. We're going to start our hatch command, and instead of using a predefined pattern, what we're going to use is a user-defined pattern, which is really just a series of parallel lines. We want to set the lines to 6 inches with an angle of 45. So we'll set the angle at 45. Once you get that set, then we can pick points in between the brick and the wall. It's best when you start your hatch command to zoom out so that you can see the entire building. And once you start the zoom command, you can zoom in if necessary. So you can pick inside the different areas. The nice thing about the hatch command now is if you forget a space, we can always go back and edit the existing hatch and add it to the existing. It's a common mistake to miss these two corners on the bay window. So we'll click in all of these areas, do like that, and close the hatch pattern, and you now have your hatch pattern on your brick. Like I said earlier, if you did miss a space, you could double click on it and go up and continue to pick points and add to that hatch pattern. Now the next thing that we're going to do is to add the cabinets to the kitchen area. We can use the offset command to create those those lines. Our base cabinets are 2 feet deep, and our upper cabinets are 1 foot deep. We can use our offset command, and I'm going to use an offset, and I'm going to change my current layer to the A floor woodwork layer, which is for the base cabinets. I'll start the offset command, and on my settings it says layer equals source. I'm going to change that so that the layer is the current layer. So now when I offset lines, they are on the A floor woodwork layer. I'm going to do something a little different. Since my base cabinet is 2 feet deep and my upper cabinets are 1 foot deep, I'm going to set my offset distance to 1 foot so that I can offset the upper cabinets, then the base cabinet, upper cabinet, base cabinet. Do that on all 3 sides. Now, since the first lines are part of the upper cabinet, I'm going to change those over to the overhead layer. These lines are dashed. You may not see the dash patterns in model space, but if you take a look at your lines in paper space, you'll see that they are dashed. Okay, so now I'm just going to clean up my corners with the fillet command. This will allow me to produce square corners with a radius of 0. So we'll get those cleaned up. And then we need to get these to the correct length. On this side of the cabinet, it's 2 feet. You can use offset, or you could use your tracking tool. So for example, I could start the line command, track down 2 feet, and draw that line. Then these 2 lines can be trimmed. On this side, the length of the cabinet is 7 feet. So I'm going to do the same technique, as I'm going to track down 7 and draw that line. Use my trim command to clean things up. And the base cabinet, the upper cabinet does not go across the windows. There is a 2-inch offset for my upper cabinet. I'm going to go ahead and make layer A floor overhead current and use my tracking tool again and track up 2 inches so I can draw the edge of the cabinet in their correct location. And once those are drawn, then I can trim that line out. So almost everything we've done so far is using offset or tracking. We do a lot of offsetting and trimming to get these created. The next step would be to draw the shelves in the closet. So I'm going to set my woodwork layer current again. So we'll use offset. The shelves in the cabinets is a 1 by 12, so they're about 12 inches deep, and then we have a center line that represents the pole. In the back of the cabinet there's a cabinet or a set of shelves. So let's use offset. Set my distance to 1 foot, and I can offset these on each side, and then locate my shelving unit. So I'm going to do another offset of 1 foot, and then clean this up with trim. And I can delete those lines. Now the closet rods, they're about 1 inch from the shelf, so I'll use offset, set my distance to 1, and offset the rod inside 1 inch. Now these rods, instead of creating a different layer, what I'm going to do is have you move them to the change the line type to center lines. So we'll change that to center 2. But until you switch over to paper space, you will not see the line type patterns. I would prefer to have a smaller dash patterns on the line types, so I can click on the lines, go over to properties, and change the line type scaling. So if I change that to 0.5, it will reduce the line type pattern by half. So you get smaller dashes, but you get more dashes. So you may want to adjust that for your assignment. Okay. Both of these closets are the exact same size. So what I'm going to do is just copy the shelves and rods from one closet over to the other, and that'll save you quite a bit of time. There's a few other little things we need to do to finish up the drawing part of it. There is a line that we need to draw here for the woodwork on the seat in the bay window, and we've got some lines that we need to draw for the case opening. We also need to draw a line here for the woodwork of your linen closet, but I need to trim that line out first. So I'm on the woodwork layer. This is actually just a piece of plywood with a door on it. And same thing over here. This is going to be a piece of probably oak or pine, and it's going to have a seat on top of it. Now for the case opening, I'm going to switch to the door layer, draw 2 lines, and these lines will be hidden lines, so I'm going to change their line type to hidden, so that when you look at these in model space or in paper space, they will look like a case opening, a series of dashed lines. And you'll notice my center lines are still showing on my drawing. We can actually freeze that layer because we don't need our center lines anymore until we get to dimensioning. Okay, there's about 2 other things we need to do to finish up the drawing part of this assignment. One is to add our poche, our hatching, in the walls. So I'm going to set the layer AWOL Pat Current, use my hatching tool, and we're going to use a solid pattern, and then we're just going to pick inside of each wall. This wall is set up to be plotted as a light gray. Our plot style is set up as normal, so when we switch over to our drawing in paper space, you'll notice that the walls appear to be gray and not black, because we want these to print as a light gray color and not black. The final thing we're going to do to our project is add the text to the model. We're going to use annotative text again, so we need to make a couple of changes. Our text style is going to be called Arch Notes. We had you create that text style earlier. So we're going to make sure it's annotative. Our plotted scale is 1/4 inch equals a foot. So we're going to set our scale factor to 1/4 inch equals a foot. We have two sizes of drawings. We have small notes and room names. The room names are 3/16 of an inch, and the the smaller text is 3/32. So let me set my layer for my text. So we'll set up our text layer. Which I can't seem to find. So we'll place it for now on layer 1, but there should be a text layer for your drawing. So let's start the M-Text tool. I'm going to draw the room names first, so it's going to be 3/16, and we're going to type in the room names. Main room. The room name should be bold and underlined, and I'm going to go ahead and center it. Now once you get one room name in, use your copy and paste tool and paste that into each room, and then just make your changes. There's no need to restart your M-Text tool each time. So we have our walk-in closet, and now you have your smaller text for like the rod and shelf note and then the shelves. So we're going to repeat the M-Text tool, sketch out our text, change this to 3/32, and you'll notice that it rounds to 0 or to 1/4 of an inch. I have an issue with my units. Hopefully you don't have that problem. Here we're going to type in shelves, center that, place that text on the drawing, and then use your copy and paste tool to copy the text. We're going to change this to rod and shelf, and then I'm just going to rotate it into place. Okay. So once you get that placed in there, then make copies of it and add all of your text to your drawing.